if you start to look at every problem that comes up with a customer, with a client, internally, whatever it is, as an opportunity versus like.
So that's interesting. If we're rating things on a scale of 1 to 5, because we live in this like 5-star rating review economy, you're saying that 5 stars is actually relative to what you would expect from that particular brand. People who just love to say no, they love it. They're like, uh-oh, cardinal sin. No longer evergreen content. I just blew our cover.
Oh, God. Second episode, we're canceled. Go ahead.
We're live. Welcome back to another episode of Who Cares with Jay O'Brien and Jeffrey Jackel.
Is that what are we going to go with that?
I kind of like it.
I mean, we've spent like the past 4 or 5 days talking about what's this thing going to be called. You had a couple of terrible ideas while you were up at the cabin. I rolled, I mean,
Jave?
Not terrible.
My name is Jeff.
The Jave Show?
You know what we should call the Jave Show?
Just for Chewy.
I like it. I mean, at the risk of explaining the joke.
What joke?
Well, it's not the joke, but you know, it's
Who cares?
cares with a period.
Period.
Yeah, so it's a statement, not a question. But to the listener, they're none the wiser. They're like, oh, who cares? Like, that's cool. That's hip. They're demonstrating apathy. Like, they don't care. Like, why would they care? Who cares? But really, no, we're saying, like, no, listen, we care.
We care.
We're the ones who care.
Well, and the people who listen
Sometimes
care.
just whom?
The people who listen care. You wouldn't, I mean, we'll establish over time that what we're talking about are things that if you really didn't care, you probably wouldn't listen. I mean, maybe you would. But that's open to interpretation because it could be who cares about whatever bullshit we're talking about, but it also could be really who cares, you know, in business and blah, blah, blah.
Barbara Jackel and Peter Jackel. Those are the two so
guys,
far that care.
I have the most supportive parents. Thank you guys for watching this. They're doing as much for you as they are for me, and you know it.
I know. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think Mimi's watching.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Mimi's Jay's mom.
Yeah. Okay. So there goes the confidentiality.
What about wives? You just gave my parents' full names. Mimi's not even her. She can't even look her up on that in the Googles.
That's true. That's true. What's up with what are you drinking?
It's a bubbly water, non-caffeinated. Have these all the time, like 2 a day.
You didn't want people to see the. Sorry, and when I say people, you didn't want Barbara or Peter to see the can that you were drinking out of, so you wanted to disguise it until we get paid for product placement.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Good and Gather, the Target private label brand.
I thought they were Up and Up.
No.
No? Can I move
Well, yes, they are. Yeah, you can move anything you want. Up and Up is private label for like their skincare, beauty products, probably like Band-Aids, anything that has to do with that kind of stuff. I think I could be totally wrong.
How's the last week been? I mean, we sat here a week ago, and I think it was pretty good.
How's my week been? Mostly weekend. Ash has had like a whole bunch of social obligations. I've been doing a lot of solo daddying. That's how my last several
because
days
it's the holidays.
Yeah, I don't have that many. I don't have any plans that don't include her.
Oh,
what?
Cardinal sin. No longer evergreen content. I just blew our cover. Someone's gonna hear this in March and be like, "It's not the holidays."
Don't you think that the Christmas music playing behind us right now?
We'll have to change that to bagpipes for St. Patty's Day. So our wife has been at a lot of functions.
She has a favorite things party tonight. You want to know about that? I think this is actually cool.
I kind of do.
Yeah, it's called a favorite things party. Apparently, it's like your Ash is probably. Should we explain that, by the way? Because it's gonna get really confusing. My wife's name is Ashley. Jay's wife's name is Ashley. They look a lot alike. Our stories are pretty much exactly the same. We'll go into that at some point. So
Barbara and Peter know all about it.
Yeah, I don't know how we do this, but your Ashley has probably been to a favorite things party. She probably told you all about it and you weren't listening. So it's a thing where you go and Ash has to bring 3 sets of things that are her like favorite finds. Like, could be like an
something
item.
Borrowed, something blue.
No, it's not a wedding. But she's doing like, you know how she brings that like bright light everywhere, and the girls take the photos with that bright light on the camera on the phone.
My wife 1,000,000% doesn't do that. I would probably not have her as my wife anymore.
Mine doesn't. She for sure. And I guarantee you on Saturday night they will take. We should redo this show after Saturday because she will for sure take photos with this light. Anyway, that's one of the things that she did. So she has to put together 3 packages of her favorite things, and then she goes and 3 people get her favorite things for the year, and then she gets the favorite things from 3 people. So you like learn people's, basically whatever your favorite finds of the year are.
Is there a budget to this?
I think that, yes, I think there is. I don't know what it was.
Like favorite things under X amount of dollars. Cumulatively?
I'm not sure. Yes, I'm sure there is one. I don't know what it was. I would like to find out now that you mention it, because that light isn't cheap, and it's one of 3 things, and some of them are makeup, and makeup's expensive.
It's also, I feel like with like-minded people, a lot of my favorite things are the same favorite things as other people.
You'd be surprised.
People plan like, okay, what am I wearing? It's a party, whatever. Yeah. So this was a white party, right? White party.
We're all white. I think that. Do you think that they changed it? I didn't know anything that was going on with the whole Diddy, which again is, by the way, not evergreen, because who knows? But that'll be playing out for years, right? We're fine.
How is this related?
Diddy, white parties, the whole thing.
Are we going to Freak Off on Saturday?
Very much not.
Oh.
We're going to although there are no kids. But anyway, it was a white party.
There were kids at a Freak Off.
Oh, God. Second episode, we're canceled. Go ahead.
So on the last episode, we were talking about customer relationships. Are they driven by trust, or are they driven by experience? And at the tail end, you had mentioned something of, well, actually, a company has an enormous opportunity after they have dropped the ball on a customer experience to actually improve their reputation beyond how they could have if they just executed flawlessly the first time around. Explain that.
I'm not sure the way you said it was as clear as it could be, but I'll
make it clear.
Yeah, I'll make it clear. First time that I remember hearing about this and looking into, I think it was Power Moments. There's a book, but the example used was like, if you and I go to a hotel, right, and we both stay at the same place, and your experience is absolutely flawless. There's not an issue. You stay there. Everything is lovely. It's great. You have no issues. When we leave, and sorry, I stay at the same place, but I have a problem. Like maybe there's no towels, or there's not enough towels, and I call the front desk and I'm like, hey, there's no towels in the bathroom.
In case you're with someone who showers.
Jesus Christ. You guys, I got to give the examples of that. You want me to go into that whole thing? I won't for now. Jay showers too much and it bursts. If his skin falls off in the middle of this episode, you'll all know why.
Jeff showers every few days?
I shower at least once a day, if not twice. Here's the difference. If I shower when I wake up in the morning, and then I shower, let's say, when we get back from a day, let's say we're traveling together and we go and do work the whole day. We get back in the evening and I shower, we go to dinner, and then we come back, I just go to sleep. You shower for a third time.
Yeah, I would like if I'm out in New York City for 4 hours, like having drinks and stuff. Yeah, I take another shower when I get back. So you don't, but you need more towels. I don't know why, but go on.
But honestly, I don't. I wish that we did this later once we had more people watching this stuff. But and maybe it's evergreen, right? So it'll be here for a long time. Please put in the comments whether you would do that. You shower when you wake. Here's the real. You shower when you wake up. You go. You do your work day, whatever it is. You come back. It's like 6, 7 o'clock at night. You shower because you've just been working all day doing your thing. You go and you have dinner and you come back. Not 4 hours out in New York. And not like you're not going to like a cigar bar. It's not like some special thing.
We did
stop.
go to a
That's
cigar
a different. And I showered when we got home. That's different. I showered when we got home then. It's just a normal dinner. You walk down the street. It's cold out. That's important because you're not sweating in New York. It's cold out. You have dinner. 2 hours later, you come back 9 o'clock and you go to bed. Do you shower for a third time? I want the honest answer. I won't even screw this up with like saying my opinion. You went to the hotel. You had a great stay. Everything was perfect. I went to the same exact place. I had an issue. There was that towel. They brought me towels. Now they solved my problem, right? When we leave and they do an exit, like a rating, a poll, they send us afterwards, like, how was your stay? Statistically, I will rate that stay higher than you will, even though your stay was flawless without issue. Because there's in my mind, psychologically, there was an issue that came up and it was solved quickly. There was more interaction with, an instance where they made things right. Making things right is generally leaving a better lasting impression than just having a simply flawless experience.
Do you think that is how you would actually react personally as Jeff Jackel?
Why do you got to say it wrong publicly? You're just like continuing this.
You're doing that survey, okay? Let's just say you're doing that survey. Did it actually positively impact you in a way where you're going to, what are you doing? 5 stars, writing a little comment, a little card? Mm-hmm.
honestly, see, some of these things I think are really hard for you and me when we talk through, like, what would you do? We just, because this is what we do and know and think about, I think that we're not normal. So I don't know that it pertains to us. For me personally, I think that that's probably fair to say I would if it was an otherwise just okay experience, right? Like, I don't want to do what we did in the first episode and call out a whole bunch of brands that are like kind of lackluster. If we're going somewhere, we're staying like a Hampton Inn. I have no idea whether they could sponsor. Like, I don't know. So I'm just saying like a run of the mill, good, right? Like whatever. I don't have no idea whether it's a 3-star kind of a deal where like I'm not expecting that much. It needs to be clean. It needs to be nice. It needs to be easy. And bed needs to be pretty comfortable, whatever. I could see that me falling into that category where like if you just asked me to rate the thing and it was completely lackluster, I'm probably gonna be like, I probably wouldn't even take the time. That's actually I probably wouldn't even take the time to give it a rating on a follow-up email. But if I had an issue and they were super proactive in solving it and really made me happy, I would be impressed by the service at a place that I was not necessarily expecting great service from. If you flip this around and we're at Las Ventanas and I came out of it and I had absolutely flawless experience, I think that I'd probably would not fall into that category, and I'd rate it higher about complete flawlessness because that was my expectation and they even exceeded it.
So that's interesting. If we're rating things on a scale of 1 to 5, because we live in this like 5-star rating review economy, you're saying that 5 stars is actually relative to what you would expect from that particular brand. So like a Hampton Inn not having towels and then like giving you towels, you're like, hey, that was pretty good. I got taken care of, 5 stars, because like that's kind of good enough for a Hampton Inn. Whereas if it were like the Ritz-Carlton or something, you'd be like, I mean, I got towels replaced, but what's all this talk about them knowing my drink and all the stuff? I didn't really get that. Maybe it's 3.5 stars. Is that kind of what you're saying?
100% that's how I do things. I have never, until you just said that, I've never actually like dissected it and thought that way. But yes, anytime I'm asked about my experience, I am always rating a business or service based on my perceived level of the quality, probably what I paid for it, and where I kind of rank it in what they're trying to be. I rate it based on what they're trying to be. The Hampton is not trying to be Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah,
right?
That's interesting. Because
you not? Is that not?
So, I mean, I think I probably do what a lot of people do, which is like, I'd say 8.5 out of 10 drivers I get on Uber or Lyft are absolute dog shit drivers. I would rather drive the car myself intoxicated
For sure.
if I knew I wasn't going to get in trouble,
Yes.
because I know for sure I would still be driving better than this animal behind the wheel. So
Arriving alive is just not even
arriving alive is like a huge win. And great. Thank you for the ride. I appreciate that. Like the whole A to B thing happened and I'm still intact. Here's 5 stars.
Yep.
I'm also giving 5 stars because it's like, you just dropped me off at my house. If I give you 1 star, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know you run like a wildly successful cell phone company on the side, but like really you've got my home address and I maybe 5 stars is just enough for me to move on with my life. So sometimes you're like, you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. I think a lot of people rate Airbnbs that way, and just like completing a survey. Hey, do me a solid, complete the survey. Here you go. It's like we're just dishing out 5-star reviews, even though that's not what they mean.
Sure.
Because a 5-star review means like A+, 100%, could not be better,
Yep.
flawless, whatever. I don't think anyone's rating like that, which kind of dilutes the whole meaning of the review system and makes it not really effective when you're looking at reviews.
Well, wait. So I want to challenge the Uber thing. So that's not why when I do a 5-star rating or whatever is in an Uber, and I've never actually looked into this. You know how you have a rating as well as a rider?
You remember what happened in Toronto?
No.
When we got picked up and the guy was starstruck by me.
Oh, yeah, because of your
wildly
review.
starstruck because he'd never seen a rating so
It's like
high.
4.99999 or
That's
something
such
like
a Trump thing to say.
Yeah.
It's like, never. He couldn't believe it. No one could even believe how high this rating was. No one's seen ratings this high.
A rating this high? Oh, that was so bad. But do they have to rate you before? Like, if I give them, will they lower my rating if I lower theirs? Can that work like that?
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
No review system on any online platform works that way. It's all done independently, and then they both come together.
Okay, so that is one thing that goes through my head. I generally don't even rate. Honestly, I don't do any of those things.
Yeah,
Maybe
just
like,
try and hit the X button and get the hell out of there.
yeah, the quality of that ride may result in a tip or not tip or more tip, but the rating I kind of just bypass. But here's a question: let's say the same. Go on the Uber. Keep on the Uber thing, or Lyft. We're open to everyone's ad dollars.
I happen to use Lyft.
You
myself.
do use Lyft more, yeah. Okay, so. Keeping on that, I don't know what the equivalent is in Uber or in Lyft. I'm sorry, but like if you do the rating and you paid for black SUV or something, you chose to spend $75 instead of $28. Does that change the level of expectation and thus change your 5-star rating?
It totally does.
So then you do it the same way I do.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't with actually how I execute with Lyft and Uber because I'm just doing 5 stars and getting the hell out of there. But if I was being honest, yes, it definitely would.
So you rate 5 stars every time, no matter what they do.
Yeah, probably, unless.
And you think that fact?
Well, hold on. I take that back. I've definitely obliterated some of these profiles, but that's typically when they've dropped me off at the destination, not my house.
Oh, so you really do think about them knowing where you live?
Yeah. But that's true. The expectation is everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, did they deliver on that? Is that impressive? Is it expected? That kind of thing. Yeah, totally makes sense.
I mean, I think the biggest thing to take from this for business owners, operators, is to think of any mishap that happens, any snafu. Like stuff's gonna happen, or like in the operational ongoings of whatever business you're doing, right? You're gonna have missteps. I mean, you also can't control the quality of every single employee in the place, right? So when that happens, a lot of companies kind of like shrivel up, don't take accountability, don't whatever. I mean, and towels is maybe not the best example of this, but like that's actually data shows that is an opportunity, right? So like it's more about how you respond to something that goes wrong than it is about making nothing go wrong in the first place, which is an impossibility.
Yeah, and I think ultimately the best barometer here isn't like a rating system. It's who have you told about this, right? Because if I went to the Hampton Inn, didn't have towels, they brought me towels, and you're like, where should I stay at? There's no chance in hell I'm like, dude, you got to stay at Hampton Inn.
Correct.
That's just not happening. So what's the point of the review system? I mean, at this point, it's really just like legitimacy, I guess. It's not really, I mean, I don't know how experience driven it is. It's more, at least when I shop for products on Amazon and stuff, it's just like, okay, there's 10,000 reviews and they're 4.7. I can rely on this product. Great. So like I'm almost looking at that on Airbnb now where I'm like, okay, nothing was wildly misrepresented on the listing versus the actual stay. This is fine. I don't think I'm looking for like an exceptional experience or anything like that. Just more of that trust, I guess, going back to the previous episode. Like, can I trust this brand? But for businesses looking to grow and actually get that like word of mouth, like die hard, potent sort of referral business, you have to stand out. Something has to be vastly different where it's remarkable, right? Worthy of making a remark, Seth Godin.
I was literally just about to bring in Seth, and I don't know that we'll do this on everyone, but like Seth Godin, when he talks a lot about the definition of quality. Have you heard him talk about this? Have you heard me talk about this?
I have heard that episode of Akimbo.
Was it an Akimbo episode?
It was, yeah.
So his definition of quality, or what he basically says quality means, is meeting spec. So literally what you're saying
consistency, basically.
Yeah, so like if this is the level of quality or if this is the spec that I am expecting from the Hampton Inn or from whatever it is, and it just meets that, what you're basically saying is that's never going to get somebody to stand out, which we know.
Correct.
So, okay, so then let's say as an opportunity for any business out there, when the equivalent of not having any towels comes up, the answer is not to simply bring towels.
Right. Exactly right.
So what do? You own a Hampton Inn. Congratulations, you're the proud owner of a new Hampton Inn.
So, I mean, one of the simplest things you could do is if they say, hey, we need 2 more towels, you bring 4 more towels,
sure.
Right? And with that, you probably bring extra soap and like toothbrush, whatever the hell they offer there. Like, you just kind of bring the whole thing. And it's like, hey, I met you where you were at, what you needed, and then I just exceeded it with all this other stuff that is relevant to your ask, but going above and beyond.
Yep.
That would be That would be, I mean, I still wouldn't necessarily proactively go out of my way and say, hey, you need to stay at Hampton Inn. But if you said, hey, I'm looking between like a Hampton Inn and a Courtyard Marriott and this, whatever, what do you think? I'd say, actually, they're kind of on their shit at Hampton Inn. You know, like they're getting to like the B+.
It comes back to the same thing you said about Southwest. It's basically saying like things are going to go wrong. If something goes wrong, I just know that Southwest is going to make it right. They're going to do the right thing. So in this case, if you want to make it remarkable, it is bringing other things. I also think if we were going in right to a hotel chain or brand and talking to them about how to deal with customer experience and helping them, right? We would probably suggest a second touch. So like if I'm without towels and I call and I do that and they bring them to me and they do bring the mouthwash and the toothbrush and all this kind of stuff, in that one exchange, they have now, because we always talk about this, that if somebody just solves the problem, well, you're still behind, right?
Yes.
You're not, you're not back to, homeostasis or what I was expecting. You're not back to spec yet. So yes, in that initial instance, bring extra towels, bring all the nighttime stuff. Can I get you anything else, right? But I think if we were going in and setting out strategy or setting out a process and procedure for this type of a thing with a hotel chain, we would say our recommendation is the following morning or the following evening, if that was whatever the time of day was, you do a call to the room and you say, just wanted to check in, make sure you've had anything. If there's anything additional, we could bring you right now.
Yeah, or like a follow-up touch, like maybe it's a collateral, like guide to showering, like 3 showers a day, and walks you through how important it is to shower even after dinner.
3 times per day.
I'm just saying.
When I met this guy, he didn't even lotion up after a shower.
I mean,
skin just falling off.
Dinner with the general public for 4 hours, then you're going to bed sleeping in a trash can? That's basically what that is.
It's not like I'm off an airplane and not showering.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it.
You have not seen that.
Virginia, January 2018.
We walked to dinner immediately. You didn't even shower right away. We walked to that dinner place. We were the only people in that place. I wish I took video of that.
I take showers the second I get off that plane. Oh, all right, what else?
Help the people.
So basically turning around a problem with a solution and beyond is the way to be memorable.
Well, yeah, and I think it's like a lot of things that we talk about and that I think we will talk about here. It's about mind frame. It's about like how you do anything is how you do everything. Was that the one that we missed the other day?
No,
we did that one.
You got it.
But it's basically saying like if you start to look at every problem that comes up with a customer, with a client, internally, whatever it is, as an opportunity versus like, this is a mess up or whatever it is, but this is an opportunity backed by data saying like, this is actually our opportunity to have this person leave with a better experience or to walk away from this customer service experience with a better feeling about our company than they even would have if we had done a flawless job. Like once you know that and you kind of circulate that within a company and make sure that people realize that, then it's kind of cool because like these problems are bound to happen. And you say, well, you start thinking more about what's our process and procedure for now creating a remarkable moment for somebody out of something that was kind of shitty. So there's a million different things. I mean, there's, we could do a thing eventually where people call and give examples within their own company that says like,
let's give an example internally. Okay. So here yeah. Okay. So our SOP at Client Giant, just to kind of put a concrete example in place so people can kind of understand this. If someone gets routed to customer service because they had a problem, let's say something didn't go to the right address or was delayed or whatever happened. Most companies are going to say, oh, I'm so sorry that didn't go. Now it's going. Yeah. Like I've fixed it and now it'll arrive tomorrow or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's the fix. But to your point earlier, that just gets you back to your baseline. That's not really like doing anything spectacular. That's just getting you back to what they already expected that you failed on.
Yeah, because basically all you've done is said sorry.
Right.
And now I'm going to do the thing you expected I was going to do right the first time.
Exactly. So the SOP here is you got to A, get to the baseline, and then B, do something above and beyond, which might look like, hey, we sent that out. It's going out tomorrow. Also, we're sending them an extra blah, blah, blah. Or we upgraded their thing to this. Or whatever it is that shows, hey, this situation is now better than it would have been if we executed perfectly the first time.
Yes.
That's the example.
100%.
Yeah. So
why am I feeling like there's some sort of a connection where this is a good example of something that happened in the very beginning of the company trying to get somebody a Snickers bar?
Oh, dude. So we were doing a multi-touch thing in one of our customer journey like packages that had 6 touches in it. The third touch, this one happened to be in the real estate world, right? Because it was early days.
Yeah.
So it was a like gourmet gift box. And at the time, we actually outsourced this to a third-party company. We did because we didn't have a big enough warehouse. So we placed the order, and like it was pretty much the same every time. Our customer, who we call a member, they said, hey, it'll be like really funny if you put a Snickers bar in there. It's like an inside joke I have with this buyer or seller, whoever the person was. And we're like, yeah, great, no problem. We reached out to that company, like, hey, and
to the gift box.
To the gift box
Yeah,
people. And we're like, hey, can you throw a Snickers in there? And like knee-jerk reaction, they're like, no. Like it just no, we're not going to do that. And they weren't having any of it. So we went out and like, because now we can't use that company for this particular touch, like we can't partially fulfill it, right? We're like, we're going to do it. So we built the box and we went out and got the Snickers bar. We went to the USPS and we did the whole thing and sent it out manually because that was the extra mile. That was, and you know what? I don't even think that we got a pat on the back for that because we didn't illustrate that it was a big deal.
No.
We just said yes.
Yeah.
We weren't like, hey, we never, ever, ever do this, and we don't even have Snickers in the building. In fact, our building is 400 square feet. And the customer service person you're talking to, Samantha, is actually me, the founder of the company. That what we didn't even get a pat on the back for because we just said yes, but we wanted to make that experience special. So we're like, just do it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it wasn't them fixing something that they couldn't. And what it came down to was they were saying it was a melting issue. Remember, it was like, what is the melting?
Oh my God, I forgot all about this because you're right. We pushed on that.
Yeah, we pushed
on it. We're like, why can't you? And they said, because we don't send chocolate. Well, why don't you send chocolate?
It melts.
Because it melts. I don't think it's gonna melt because it's like January and it's like in Virginia or whatever. And they're like,
For months we were talking about what's the melting temperature.
Yeah, they said it'll melt in the mail because of whatever. And I remember specifically asking them, what is the melting point of chocolate?
Yeah.
I think that might have been the end of that vendor relationship. I can't be certain.
And that's when we stopped using them as a vendor.
Yeah.
This is why, by the way, I mean, I don't know what that episode would be about, but this is why we have taken everything in-house, because to do this right, you have to do things that are completely unreasonable, and we were so tired of everybody saying like, I'm sorry, that's not reasonable.
Yeah, people who just love to say no, they love it. They're like, nom, 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 they're little power pills. Nom,
all the
nom, nom. Like, I hate it. I can't stand it.
I want all the no's.
All right, well, did that wrap? Are we wrapped?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how we're gonna go about ending these things because they're so freeform, but I'm liking it. I'm liking the freeform.
You know, it would be great.
What?
Just in the edit when you say, I don't know how we're gonna think. just bloop, it's over. Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how these things are going to end.
All right, so I don't think we should ask people to smash buttons and stuff because
we should ask them
we did
to
that
smash
last
buttons.
time.
But we got to do it every time.
Every time you're going to ask a favor from people every single time.
The kids when they
I guess this only applies to people who've done this smashing. Right?
Yeah, so if you haven't already.
Oh, okay.
That's how you say it. The kids watch these things. You don't watch any of this stuff. The kids watch these things, and every time they're like, hit the subscribe button, send us I got to learn what you're supposed to do. But turn on notifications on.
Yeah.
Yeah, smash it.
I think maybe the most valuable thing would be, do all those things. That'd be cool.
Write comments, ask questions.
Yeah, the comments, because then then people could be like, dude, what you guys talk about is fucking stupid.
Well, no, we're going off of a list. I mean, what the whole goal.
Yeah, this is, you can blame ChatGPT for this. And also, like, Peter, be nice in the comments.
Yeah. Dad. The whole goal, though, is, I mean, maybe at this early stage, people who are watching and listening know what we know about, right? What we're good at, what we're the best at. So ask the questions that pertain that you think that we can give, great answers on and to help you with whatever you're doing in your business. But until we start getting enough people to ask us those and suggest topics and things that they want to learn about, we'll keep going off the Gabita.
Long-term memory, billiards.
Chat, GPT, Gabita.
You're saying things that we're really good at.
Gupta? Oh, golf? Well, I'll answer those.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh!
All right, that's gonna wrap it up.
I don't know how we're gonna end.